Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Jean Elizabeth Spangler, who was born on September 2nd of 1923 and disappeared on October 7th of 1949. She was an American actress who appeared in bit parts in several Hollywood films in the late 1940s, so a lot of people probably don't remember her. She mostly got a lot of attention because of her disappearance in late 1949, which we're going to go into right away. On Friday, October 7, 1949, Spangler left her home in Los Angeles around 5 p.m. She left her daughter Christine with Sophie, her sister-in-law, and said she was meeting Benner, the ex-husband, to discuss a late child support payments. After that, she was going to work on a night shoot for a film. 2 hours after leaving, Spangler called her home and spoke with Sophie as well as her daughter. She told Sophie that she would have to work the full 8 hours and would probably not return home that evening. At the time, Spangler's mother Florence was out of town visiting family in Louisville, Kentucky. The following morning, October 8th, Sophie went to the police and filed a missing person report after Spangler failed to return home. Though Spangler told her sister-in-law that she was going to work on a film set after she met with Benner, police checked with studios and the Screen Extra Guild and found no records indicating that she had worked that night. A saleswoman at the farmer's market, only a few blocks from Spangler's home, recalled seeing her browsing at around 6 p.m. and noted that she appeared to be waiting for someone. This was the last known sighting of Spangler. Police questioned Benner about her statement to Sophie that she was going to go meet him about child support payments. He claimed he had not seen his former wife for several weeks. His new wife, Lynn Lasky Benner, to whom he was married for only a month, corroborated his story. On October 9th, 1949, Spangler's purse was found near the Ferndale entrance to the Griffith Park in Los Angeles, approximately 5.5 miles from her home. Both of the straps on one side of the purse were torn loose, as if it had been ripped from her arm. 60 police officers and over 100 volunteers searched the 1,400-acre natural train park, but no other clues were found. There was no money in the purse. Sophie said that Spangler had no money when she left the house that evening of her disappearance, so the police ruled out robbery as a motive, which I think is a bit of an odd thing to do because people robbing don't always know what's in your purse, so it could be that she was robbed and there was no money in the purse, but okay, that doesn't stop people from trying. Anyway, there was a note in the purse addressed to a Kirk, which read, "Kirk, can't wait any longer, going to see Dr. Scott. It will work best this way while Mother is away." The note ended in a comma, as though there was going to be something else there, I suppose. Neither Kirk nor Dr. Scott could be located, and neither Spangler's family nor her friends knew anyone by those names. When Spangler's mother Florence returned to Los Angeles, she told police that someone named Kirk had picked up Jean at her house twice, but stayed in his car and did not come in. Griffith Park was searched over the following week by 200 volunteers and law enforcement. During the search, one volunteer's dog dug up a denim Los Angeles County jail uniform in a shallow hole, but no other belongings of Spangler were found, so that's kind of a weird find right there. Probably not related, but interesting nonetheless. Anyway, on to theories and alleged sightings. At the time she disappeared, Spangler had recently completed a film bit part in the film Young Man with a Horn starring Kirk Douglas. People these days probably don't really remember who that is. I believe he played the lead role in a movie called Spartacus, which some people may have seen. This led to the public speculation that he was the Kirk mentioned in a note found in her purse, quite naturally. Upon reading about the discovery of the note, Douglas himself called the police and denied that he knew Spangler. Later, when interviewed by telephone by the head of the investigation team, Douglas admitted that he had talked and kidded with her a bit on set, but that he had never spent time with her outside of the film production. On October 12th, Douglas gave a formal press statement in which he said, "I told Detective Chief Thad Brown that I didn't remember the girl or her name until a friend recalled it was she who worked as an extra in his scene with me in my picture Young Man with a Horn. Then I recalled that she was a tall girl in a green dress. I talked and kidded with her a bit on the set, but I never saw her before or after that, and I've never been out with her." Spangler's girlfriends told police that she was 3 months pregnant when she disappeared and that she had been talking about getting an abortion, which at the time was illegal. Witnesses who frequented the same nightclubs and bars as Spangler told police that they had heard of a former medical student known as Doc who performed abortions for money, but police could not locate him nor prove that he existed. Which is not strange because it was illegal, so why would he make himself known? Spangler had also told her friend actor Robert Cummings that she was having a casual affair at the time, but did not mention the identity of the man. When Cummings asked her if it was serious, she responded, "No, but I'm having the time of my life." Okay, so he was definitely seeing somebody then. At the time, some newspapers reported that Spangler was feared to be one of the several female victims of a serial killing in Los Angeles, potentially linked to the Black Dahlia murder in 1947. Another theory investigated by police was that Spangler's disappearance was related to Los Angeles gangsters with whom she supposedly associated. According to historian John Lewis in his book Hard-Boiled Hollywood, Crime and Punishment in Post-War Los Angeles, Spangler had worked for a time as a dancer at Florentine Gardens, a nightclub owned by Mark Hansen and Niels Thor Grandland. Lewis claimed that her acquaintance with Hansen and Grandland put her in the orbits of various mob affiliates, including Anthony Cornero and Mickey Cohen. Spangler had allegedly been seen with Davey Ogle, an associate of Cohen's in Palm Springs, as well as in Las Vegas, Nevada, with Ogle and Frank Nicoli, another associate of Cohen's. Ogle disappeared on October 9, 1949, 2 days after Spangler. This led police to investigate the possibility that Spangler and Ogle, who was under indictment for conspiracy, had fled to avoid prosecution. Police interrogated Thomas Ellery Evans, a gangster and acquaintance of Ogle, during this investigation. In April of 1950, Spangler's sister Betsy testified that neither she nor her sister were ever acquainted with Ogle, Cohen, or any of his associates. Lastly, in 1950, a customs agent in El Paso, Texas, reported seeing Ogle and a woman who looked like Spangler in a local hotel. The hotel clerk identified Spangler from a photograph, but neither Ogle nor Spangler's names appeared on the hotel register. So it could be that she disappeared with this Ogle character. It could also be that something went wrong related to her message on the notes. We don't know, and that is why we're going to take a look at this case with the tarot. We're going to start off with the Tarot Mucho deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Botticelli deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the deck. As soon as I have about a table full of cards, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, that was a quick shuffle. So we're starting off with the top left, where we have a 10 of Cups in reverse, followed by the Ace of Cups and the 7 of Wands in reverse as well. Now, interesting to note is that the 10 of Cups is normally a card where people are kind of like reading all this amazing fortunate feelings, I guess emotions that they experience, almost like a feel-good ending to a movie that was never supposed to end badly, that type of thing, just everything coming together, stuff like that. But in reverse, it looks very much like waving goodbye. And then we have a new cup over here, so it's like waving goodbye to, I guess, where they were comfortable. And then we have a new initiative here. I tend to see the aces, new initiative of something, in this case a new emotion possibly. So it almost seems like saying goodbye to one emotional investment and hello to another emotional investment. And then we have the 7 of Wands in reverse. 7 of Wands normally being people coming for your position, possibly challenging you in some way, and they may be stepping away from that, or they're just tired of that. So anyway, these first 3 cards almost seem like they left voluntarily, or they were looking to get away from somebody, like closing the chapter on one person and opening it to somebody else. That possibly may have been on their mind on that day, or on their heart in any case, because the first few cards have a lot to do with emotions. Even the Wands card, which is kind of like a suit of fire, like a fiery rejection of people coming for their position almost, or just wanting to step out of that fiery situation of somebody wanting to come for them. Then the next card is the 2 of Cups in reverse, followed by the Emperor in reverse, and the 10 of Pentacles on the end, which is upright. Okay. So in the spirit of saying goodbye to somebody, we're also letting go of some type of way of thinking, and possibly also some type of controlling person. So we seem to be trying to shed something. And then on the end we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a lot like coming into being well off, like a trust fund or retirement or some type of inheritance, something along those lines. I don't know if she got any of those things, but it kind of looks like, okay, now we're heading into a great new resourceful time period, or that is at least the expectation that we have here in this top row. We're letting somebody go, we're letting some type of controlling situation go, we're letting some type of mindset go here with this 2 of Cups in reverse, and we're expecting some type of payoff here with the 10 of Pentacles. So she may have been looking for some type of new starts. Now, I don't see anything necessarily about wanting to abandon everybody from her old life. Maybe just abandon one particular person whom was stopping her from progressing and expecting something to suddenly improve, possibly. For much better, due to the 10 of Pentacles right there on the end. Second row, we have the 2 of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, and the 10 of Wands. We're not entirely sure. We're still of 2 minds here with this 10 of Swords, but we do have here this willful energy of the Page of Wands that just kind of wants to take action, wants to go for it right now. Possibly also spurred on by the fact that they're probably tired of carrying a burden for quite some time. So far these cards really seem to be pointing at Jean just wanting to cut ties with something or someone and move on to something else, because they were just kind of tired of the old situation, and just like with the 7 of Wands over there, they just want to let go of something, let go of a thought that's been bothering them, I guess, for some time. And even though they're not entirely sure if this is the right choice to make, because they probably do have other options here with the 2 of Swords, the Page of Wands is saying that they're just choosing one over the other, and they don't really have a particularly good explanation for it, other than maybe that this option is the one that she expects will allow her to drop the burden that we see with the 10 of Wands. We do want a break by the looks of things, because the next card is the 4 of Swords. Then we have the Page of Swords, followed by what looks to be the High Priestess in reverse. So we're not exactly thinking too deeply about this. This kind of looks like she is definitely looking for a break, like I said, with this 4 of Swords. And possibly may have spoken a little bit before her turn, because we have the Page of Swords as well. This Page of Swords is just staring off into the distance, but normally the Page of Swords is almost trying to fight clouds, fighting the wind. These might be quick thoughts that rose rather suddenly, and she's just kind of going with the flow in that sense. And like I said, not really thinking too deeply about it, because the High Priestess is in reverse. It could be that there was something there that would have alarmed her had she noticed it, but she either wasn't looking or she wasn't even really aware, and this may later have come to bite her in the butt, because maybe that was something that would have prevented her from going down this route altogether had she known. So this seems like we're now at the point of the evening itself. She may have been either at the farmer's market, which I was talking about earlier, that she was spotted at, just kind of hanging around waiting for somebody. I feel like this is the energy that she may have been waiting there with, just anticipating some new beginning that was going to take her out of this old funk, it seems as though. Now let's see what happens after that. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Somebody's being very practical, or trying to be very practical in any case. We have on their sides the Knight of Pentacles, and we have the Chariot. Okay, so things might literally be going sideways, even though this is a best laid plan of mice and men type situation, because of the Knight of Pentacles, who's normally very practical. Just like the Queen herself is normally also very practical, but I think she may like I said, been a little careless, possibly convinced that she was being very careful and that she had all the facts that she needed beforehand, but I don't think she did, because this chariot was also on its side, so it's kind of like things going sideways, possibly very quickly, because of course it is the chariot, so maybe things went very fast when the solution, quote-unquote, arrived, with her thinking that she was being practical, and then caught off guard about the actual reality of her decision, or with it, so to speak. Let's see what else we can find. So she's currently just surprised, and things are moving very quickly. What happens next? We have 2 cards over here. We have the 5 of Swords. Alright, so now we're arguing with somebody. Then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Alright, so we have confrontation here that she might have tried to walk away from, because the person on the card is literally being followed around by somebody, and this person is stepping over swords when the person with the 2 swords in her hand is just kind of like trying to ignore them, trying to walk away. It could be that she's like having an internal struggle with the situation, like, okay, no, it's becoming a little more clear now that things aren't quite what we had in mind. This person looks like they're carrying a severed head on a plate or a basket, following them around, like, okay, look, this is going on, this is almost undeniable, but we're ignoring our feelings because the Knight of Cups is in reverse and the person is walking away. Like I said, they're purposely trying not to acknowledge the issue here, it looks as though, and also not acknowledging their gut feeling, I feel. So something showed up, or someone showed up, and the vibe was just not what she was expecting, but she's deciding to go along with it anyway, possibly thinking that if she just stays calm that everything's gonna be okay. Then we have a bunch of cards here, actually. Let's take a look. 10 of Cups. Alright, so we are feeling pretty good, at least initially. Maybe this is almost like a the person that probably should be considered dangerous but makes her feel a certain way that she's now encountered. We have the Knave of Swords, which is the Page of Swords again. So perhaps more hasty words, things that were not thought through, thoughts as well. 4 of Pentacles, trying to balance our resources here, possibly trying to be very careful around this person. Maybe even trying to get out of it what she thinks she needs. And possibly if she thinks that she's careful enough, she might get it, that type of thing. Then we have the High Priestess. All right, now we are starting to see certain things and possibly also acknowledge stuff, and we're worried because of the 9 of Swords right next to that, and also shooting a quick prayer over there among the stumps. It's kind of looking a bit like the old execution scenes. I don't know if you've ever seen any like paintings of people that were executed by I think a London Tower, where they also regularly had people come in to chop people's heads off. It kind of always well, maybe not always, but you often see that somebody does have to pray. Usually there's somebody there to guide them in their prayer so that their spirit will be received by the Lord, even though their mortal body is about to be executed, that type of thing, like a last rite and testament almost before things go very much south. And in this case, well, I don't imagine that there was a whole entourage trying to make sure that she was right with the Lord. Maybe she herself privately had a moment where she's like, oh, I hope I get out of this, Lord, if you can hear me, that type of stuff might have been going on at that point. In any case, things were becoming abundantly clear here with the High Priestess finally being upright. So the intuition that she should have had over here with this High Priestess is now arriving here, and now she's really starting to say some prayers in hopes that things will get better. Then we have 2 of Pentacles. We're still trying to balance our resources. Possibly the more fast and loose version of the Four of Pentacles that we have back here. So trying her very last ditch effort to balance out the situation, possibly offer something for something in return, hopefully buying her way back to safety somehow. And then we have a couple of cards that fell off screen. We have here the Six of Cups, possibly appealing to things that they have had in the past and also trying to make a connection with this person. So I think this is them going, oh, but remember all the good times that we had, and we agree on this, and we both like that. And this is almost like not quite pleading, but trying to put somebody in a good mood and trying to make sure that they align with you again, which is of course the Two of Cups here as well, trying to reconnect with a person, either in a nostalgic sense or a more practical, emotional sense of we share the same values and why don't we just go back to that type of thing. So we're looking at the rendezvous that initially looked promising, but is now turned very much sour. Let's see how this ends. Another card on its side, although it's a little bit more this way, so maybe I should read it upright. We have again the Six of Cups. Okay, so repeated attempts at trying to connect with them. So this is a longer period of time. Possibly this is a second location. I'm feeling like whoever it is that she was meeting and things didn't go well with took her to a second location, and that she is continuing to try and connect with them there. And this could have lasted a couple of hours, maybe days. I don't know. Depends on what happens next. And then we have the Four of Cups, which is not really wanting to make a choice, not liking your choices. I feel like she is possibly being asked to go away, maybe at this point, or somehow being asked to not choose to go back in any case. I get this feeling like this is her going, I don't really want to go this way, but I don't have a choice to go back, so I have to pick one of these, but none of these options look good to me. That's kind of what I'm going for here. Also noticing that the dress is off of one shoulder, so kind of disheveled looking. She may not be in the best of positions to be making any choices right now. In any case, the choices that she does have, she does not want or appreciate. Whoop, this card flipped out of the deck. It is Temperance in reverse. So I feel like she's not able to keep her temper. Possibly the person that she's with is unable to keep their temper. At least tempers are flaring at this point. So perhaps her inability to make that choice is causing for some concern and issues with somebody else. We have Death in reverse, unable to let go of something. So she may be having an argument with somebody that she does not want to close the chapter. Like I said earlier, she doesn't really want to make any of these choices. She probably wants that choice up there, but she can't get that, so she has to choose one of these. She doesn't want to do that, and I think this Death card is also representing how she does not want to leave her old life behind, even though she may have been asked to do so. And Temperance is showing that not everybody is super happy with that situation. I think nobody at that point is happy with that situation. We have here the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So we are making not very wise resource choices, which is interesting. She might not have much of a choice anyway. I usually see the Page of Pentacles in reverse as incareful spending of resources. She may have been able to spend her time on other things, but she decided not to. And she may have made the wrong choices in general. Where does that lead us? There's one. Also looking like it's in reverse. Can I get another one? I feel like another one wants to pop before we grab that one over there. Okay, that one's in the corner. This one's second, and then we have you. And we have strength here. And we have the King of Cups. Alright, so somebody is definitely winning. And they may be winning her over with emotions, an appeal to emotion. Looking at how this the strength card looks a bit more like the person is not really conquering the lion as much as they are coming together in some way and possibly getting strength together. Possibly because of the King of Cups being very convincing with his emotions. So maybe what's winning here is the strength of their bond rather than the person winning over the lion. It's more like a combination of the two. It's interesting. So far it kind of looks like she met with somebody and they offered her some new existence or something elsewhere. She would have to leave the old life behind, and even though there was definitely some struggle with that initially, this King of Cups won her over. What about after that? We have the Hierophant in reverse, and we have the Empress in reverse. Alright, so we're doing something that's against what the powers that be would appreciate, and also is not considered very motherly. This may be well, she was not married at the time. She was divorced, which in that day and age was already quite a big scandal because divorcing was kind of not a thing in the 40s and 50s, and to an extent even 60s. 60s started to get a little bit more popular, but before then definitely not a thing. So she was already kind of like kicking the powers that be and the church, I guess, where it hurt. And then there's also this feeling, I guess, of being a bad mother or not a good provider because of this Empress being in reverse. I really feel like that is what these two cards are trying to say. Like, this might be how she felt after the choice. Like, he was able to convince her to do whatever he wanted, but still there is this underlying thing of, well, I'm really a bad person now. I'm a bad mother. I'm outside of the convention, and nobody's going to appreciate what I'm doing here. So maybe she's just feeling really bad about that. And it is, of course, a bad choice to have to make as a mother, to leave your child behind. This one's on the side, but it's kind of in reverse. I'm going to take it as such. All right, we have an initiative here with the Ace of Swords. This may be a new train of thought, which is not positive. And I think this is representing what I was just talking about, how she's thinking about how bad she is in the eyes of society, I suppose. And another reverse card, the Sun. Okay, so we're definitely losing some light here. Possibly also a sundown event in the sense of gotta go into darkness because I can't really be in the light, at least not for the time being. Cannot be visible, clearly visible to people. Possibly having to hide as well. You would have to hide, of course, from the people that know you. Leave behind the things that gave light in your life, at least at some point. So how did this end then? Let's go back to the Botticelli deck for that to see if we can get some final cards about this case. This looks like we're not actually going to get any cards for the rest of this case. Oh no, there we go. Small stack. It took a while though. Let's see what we have here. We have the Hermit's In reverse. Alright, so we're looking at possibly hiding for a long time. We have the 8 of Wands. It does look like a lot of emotions, or possibly also trying to connect, trying to reach out. We have the 2 of Wands, which is trying to travel, or at least wanting to travel, possibly not being able to do so. And then we do have, or not wanting to, because we do have the 3 of Wands on the end here, which is some type of travel. So it could be that they didn't really want to go, but they ended up going anyway. Possibly wanting to reach out here with the 8 of Wands, but not being able to do so. I think the Hermit over here is also kind of showing that maybe they were forced into a hiding in that sense, like they couldn't go back, even though they may have wanted to reach out. We see Cupid here trying to aim at somebody with their bow. At least it looks like Cupid, which could also possibly represent that she was just madly in love, possibly. And even though she didn't really want to go anywhere, she went anyway with this 3 of Wands. We're gonna get some final cards, maybe, like are we ever gonna find out for real what she did? Are we gonna find out anything about what happened to her? They did find that purse with stuff in it, but are we going to find anything about that? Okay, so we have here the 8 of Swords, right? That's like, oh, there's a lot of cards here. 8 of Swords, stuck in some type of mindset. So we're still stuck here with this thought, I guess, that it's good. We are still with the Hierophant in reverse, so she is still continuing to do things that I believe she does not feel that the powers that be would agree with. We have the Wheel here because things are changing, possibly changing rapidly and consistently. We have the Star here, so possibly we do actually have some type of new light entering her life. Possibly she is somebody else's light. 7 of Swords is in reverse. 7 of Swords normally being some type of trickery. Could be that she's being tricked in the long term, or she is tricking people in the long term. Like she may have found some way to mislead people wherever she went, because of course people were looking for Jean Spangler, but maybe of course she picked a different name and she had a background story to keep people off of her track. Man, this Stars card does look a lot like the 3 of Cups, which is more of a coming together and a partying type of thing. Could be that she just had some new life that she was really excited about, regardless of everything that she had to leave behind, which she did not agree with. So I feel like she's definitely gone off on some different life, as hard as it may have been to leave the old one behind. Maybe due to some type of trickery here with the 8 of Swords. But ultimately she feels good about it because the Star is in her life rather than the Sun. But she seems to have felt okay about her choice in the end. I don't really see anything referencing the bag and the possible abortion here. Though we did get 2 reversed Hierophants, so maybe she did actually go through with that, and she is continuously feeling bad about having given up a child like that in a way that is definitely not considered right, morally right, on top of also abandoning the other child that she already had. This person that she may have written the note to may have been the person that she actually went to meet, but we don't know that. The note could very easily have been a distraction tactic to try and get people to go on a wild goose chase, just like the torn purse may have been. Some type of red herring situation, I don't know. I don't really see anything here about violence. We don't know that. And the cards don't really say too much about that. The 7 of Swords, like I said, is deception, so maybe that was part of the deception. I did ask about the purse before we got this bunch of cards here, so maybe that's a reference to it. I don't know for sure, but it's a possibility. In any case, that is what I'm seeing for Jean Spangler. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. If you'd like to subscribe, that's even better. In any case, hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.